Um, we are very much ready for that challenge. Why? Because the destination is absolutely beautiful. So we've got the products, we've got the attractions. I mean, we're the home of the big five. Anybody that wants to go and see the real wildlife in South Africa, they know they have to come to Limpopo. We actually are the home of the Kruger National Park. I mean, 70% of the Kruger lies in Limpopo. But beyond that, you've got a very thriving industry. You've got a lot of community tourism. I think it's based on the fact that Limpopo is quite a rural destination. So the destination itself is ready. There's nice attractions for people to come and see. We've got over 400 bird species for those who love birding, for example. If you love camping, we've got, our adventure tourism is actually thriving. We are the home of the Mapungubwe National Park as well, which is a heritage site, and a lot of other stuff that South Africans just have never seen. I took my kids the other day to see the baobab trees, and up till this day, they're still quite amazed at these trees that are just imposing. And a lot of South Africans have never been to this part of South Africa. So we're ready. We're going to be aggressive in our destination marketing, both domestically as well as internationally. But we're also going to be looking at other areas like events that are going to start to help us to grow more, particularly on the domestic tourism, but as well as the SADC market, because you will know that Limpopo is bordering Botswana, Mozambique, as well as Zimbabwe and Swaziland. So we've got this captive market that we should be talking to actually attract to come as tourists to our province. So we're very ready this year to as the president said, to open our rondavels to welcome all South Africans that would like to come and take a short left in our province, but also those who want to come and learn more about the heritage and culture of some of the unique cultures that we have. The Bavenda, the Tsonga culture is very, very rich, and the Bedis, and it's all in that province. So we're very, very ready to take on the challenge by the president.
I mean, talking about the events, I imagine that one of the events you're referring to specifically is the Tour de Limpopo. What is that about?
Okay, everybody has heard of the Tour de France, and I think everybody watches it very, very keenly to see some of the beautiful scenery of France, not that they're cyclists. So the Tour de Limpopo is actually our answer to Tour de France, and it's actually in its first year in 2018. In fact, incidentally, this week as I speak, today we are on the third day out of a 4-day tour. So we've got over 10 countries that are cycling. It's an international event. It's a UCI categorized event, so it's a 2.2 category event. That means it's on an international calendar. So anybody who's a cyclist, a professional cyclist internationally, will pick up this event, will be able to sign up and be part of it. We've got countries like Serbia, we've got France, we've got people coming from Uganda, we've got Swaziland, we've got Mauritius, who are some of the countries that are actually with us in Limpopo as I speak to you right now. And they're cycling one of the most, what I call the most beautiful part of South Africa. This is Makhuba's Kloof all the way down to Tzaneen. I mean, that is the part of Limpopo that is absolutely stunning. So for us, it's not just about the cycling. It's about using this event and working with Cycling SA and the sport to showcase what this province is about.
Now, I imagine attracting foreign tourists to Limpopo is not going to be very difficult. The rand is a lot stronger, but it's still, it's enough for them to afford most of them. The challenge is going to be how you will attract domestic tourists like you and I, who are still in an economy that is, not growing as quickly as it can, who are still facing challenges. Now we've got the recent increase in the value-added tax, we've got petrol prices going up, and many also support a lot of members in their household because of unemployment. What is the strategy to make it easier for South Africans to visit Limpopo affordably?
Yeah, you're touching on a very important point. As we sit right now, Limpopo is the #1 domestic tourism destination. In 2016, we recorded over 8.4 million trips that actually we recorded that year. That made us #1 domestic tourism destination. So there is a huge demand for Limpopo as a tourism destination. But what we also know is that out of that 8.4 million trips, most of them were people who are visiting friends and family. And that's the domestic market that we now very much working very, very strongly and focusing together with South African tourism to better understand what their needs, what their challenges are, like you're talking about the price and the economy and all of that, and what their holiday needs. But what we want to try and do is, I mean, over the past sort of 20 years, South African tourism created this campaign called Short Left. And it's been very, very successful. And it was really about the insight that South Africans find it difficult to travel. How do we make it easy? And we demystified travel. So we're still implementing that campaign. Through that campaign, we put together very affordable packages, starting from a day's excursion to an overnight excursion to obviously a weekend away, to say, but it is easy for you to do. You don't have to plan over weeks and years and months to say, oh, I'm going to be traveling to Limpopo in the next 3 years. But you can sort of, like now it's a long weekend coming up, through these packages, we can give you a quick package. You say, this weekend, where can you go that's affordable to your pocket? From your very much value sort of type packages, self-catering, self-drives, to some of the more sophisticated, which are highly packaged, completely customized, on the high-end side. So luckily for us in Limpopo, it's a destination for everybody. From campers, from guys who have your caravans, to your guy who's looking for a luxury safari in the bush, in tranquility, talking to nobody for the whole week. So we've got the whole range of what's available, for any pocket, and we are really punting that. And we're working very strongly with our travel trade. These are guys who are packaging the destination. They actually put together the deals to say, look, this weekend you can book through us and get this package. So we're working very strongly with them to say, help us to get to the pockets of South Africans in terms of affordability. Those obviously that is still a challenge. The departments of tourism are also working very, very, very hard to educate, because there's a huge element of educating about what is tourism, demystifying tourism. You will know of this whole campaign called We Do Tourism, and it's really about all South Africans do tourism. As we're sitting here, what we are doing has got an impact on tourism. Whether you're driving a car from your house, whether you're cleaning the street, you're making it safer for the tourists. So everybody has got a role, and we've got to educate. So we're on a drive to work on our service levels, educating the product, to understand how to welcome tourists when they come, but also not just the people who are at the hotel. Every person in the province must take tourism as their issue and understand their role that they play. From a petrol guard, a garage, a person who's filling in your car. You could be a tourist from Zimbabwe. He doesn't know, so he has to be welcoming and treat you, with that understanding that you are here to drop, your money in this country. So there's a lot of activities, but we believe that we do have the right offerings that will cut across everybody.